Hello students, Jai Swaminarayan. I am Professor Urvish Mewada, HOD Electrical Department, Sri Swaminarayan Institute of Technology, Bhat Gandhinagar. I am the subject matter of Power System 2 subject, which is in the 5th semester Electrical Engineering, and GTU subject code of this subject is 3150911. Students, we are currently discussing the chapter number 4, that is symmetrical fault analysis of this Power System 2 subject. And today this is the lecture number 4, in which we are going to discuss the topic number 8, that is infinite bus. Students, in lecture number 3 we discussed the topic number 6, that is short circuit current in synchronous machine. And in that we discussed all three modes of say whenever the short circuit occur in the power system: the sub transient mode, the transient mode, and the steady state mode. And in which we derive the equations of the sub transient current and the transient current and the steady state current. Also we derived the reactance the equations of say synchronous reactances and transient reactance and the sub transient reactance. Also we discussed the topic number 7, that is selection of the circuit breaker, in which we discuss all the parameters that we should keep in mind while we select the circuit breakers in the power system protection. And we had given the worksheet question and assignment questions related to that. Now today this is the lecture number 4, and the topic number 8. Let us discuss the topic number 8, that is infinite bus. Now first of all, uh, bus, what do you mean by bus? In the case of the power system, bus is say hollow conductor on which we have the number of incoming and outgoing lines of the power system. And the voltage and the frequency is say remain same, and the current is different because each and every line has its own load which are connected with it, so the current varies. So that is called the bus. Now what I mean by the infinite bus: so if the capacity of the system is so large, then large compared to the system of any installation. So whenever the capacity of say a system is having the large quantity compared to the installation of the power system, the disturbance within the installation do not affect the voltage and frequency of the external system. So in such situation, the external power source is known as an infinite bus. So the infinite bus that we use as an external power source, and it is represented by the ideal source and the constant voltage with zero internal impedance that is provided at the time of say disturbance within the installation that do not affect the voltage and frequency and of the say external system. Means the system which provides the say voltage and external voltage and frequency whenever we have the large system, and we can say which is the system which compared to the system of any installation having the value is say capacity of the system is too large, and that the compared to the system of any of the installation. Also this infinite bus provides the provide the voltage and frequency means without affecting the this infinite bus will act as a external source which doesn't affected by the voltage and frequency, and it is indicated in the power system with the ideal source. And it is ideal source is a constant voltage with zero internal impedance, and every power system has several such points or bus whose voltage and frequency can be assumed to be constant. And that's why it is known as the infinite bus. But physically it is not possible to have perfect infinite bus, but we can place such systems say at the several points of the power system, and that is considered that will be considered as the ideal source, and that means the source whose voltage and frequency say can be assumed to be constant. So it is called the infinite bus. So in each and every power system we have number of infinite buses at different points of the power system, and the infinite bus is nothing but the external source, and it is indicated with the ideal source having the zero input impedance, and it is not affected by the voltage and frequency of the power system. That's why it is called the infinite bus. Now let us discuss the next point, that is percentage reactance. So percentage reactance, it means the property of any material which offers the resistance while the current passing through it, and whenever the current passes through it, due to the change in the temperature, its reactance will change. So the reactance of the generator, transformer and reactors having all are the say inductive in nature, and in inductive circuit we have generally we use the windings, and winding is made up of say a material, conducting material, but that material has its own internal resistance, and the property as as it is mounted with some of the accessories, say core and other means magnetic materials. So due to that, whenever the current passes through that wire, it will offer the reactance, and it is usually expressed in say percentage reactance to permit the rapid short circuit calculation. So for the rapid short circuit calculation, generally we use the percentage reactance, and in the percentage reactance of a circuit is defined as the percentage of the total phase voltage dropped in the circuit when full load current is flowing. So whenever the system is at the full load, we consider the total phase voltage drop, and from that value we can calculate the percentage reactance of the circuit. So percentage reactance percentage reactance X is equal to Ix is nothing but the voltage drop. So voltage drop is equal to what we write in the case of voltage drop, that is V is equal to I into R. But here we have the inductive circuit in which the resistance is say negligible, and that's why we consider only the reactance of the circuit. That's why the voltage drop inside the reactance is say Ix, and the voltage is of the system. So it is multiplied with the 100 because it is the percentage, where I is equal to full load current, and V is the phase voltage, and X is the reactance in ohm per phase. So this is the reactance which is offered by the material which we use as a conducting material inside the devices, and the reactance which offered by this device is say called reactance in ohms per phase. Now let us derive the formula of that percentage reactance. Now alternately, percentage reactance X can also be expressed in terms of kVA and kV means in terms of kVA and kV. So kilovolt ampere and kV. So from this the above equation which we can write, the X is equal to percentage X into V divided by 100 into I. So this is the just we make the X as a subject. So percentage X into V divided by 100 V into I. So in the numerator and denominator we multiplied and divide with the V. So the percentage X, then V by 1000 divided by V by 1000 into 1000, in the denominator 100 into V by 1000 into I. So all the V is divided with 1000. So that will become percentage X, and this will become the kV square into 10 multiply by, this is the formula for the kVA. So this is kVA. So percentage X is equal to kVA into X divided by 10 into kV square. So where X is the reactance in ohm and if the X is the only reactance element in the circuit, then short circuit current is given by ISC. So generally I is equal to V by R. So R is nothing but the reactance of the circuit, that's why ISC, SC stands for short circuit. So ISC means short circuit current is equal to V by X. Now put the value of X in 2.26 that we already written over here, that is 2.26. This is the equation in which we are putting the value of X. So ISC is equal to I into 100 by percentage X. So short circuit current is obtained by multiplying the full load current by 100 into percentage X. So the percentage value remain unchanged as they are say referred through the transformer, unlike ohmic reactance which become multiplied of divided by square of the transformation ratio. So this is the term we need to keep in mind while we are solving the percentage reactance of the circuit, and this make the procedure simple and permits the quick calculation, and we can have the say rapid calculation of this of the system using percentage reactance. And it is more clear from the equation 2.27 in last section that percentage reactance of the equipment upon is its kVA rating. So the points that we considered, that is it is necessary to find the percentage reactance of all the elements on a common kVA rating, and this is common, this common kVA the common rating is known as the base kVA. So all the equipments which are at the common kVA rating, so that kVA rating is the base kVA rating of that all the elements which are connected in the system. And the value of this base kVA is quite say unimportant, and maybe first is that is equal to that of the largest plant. So that kVA rating means describe the rating of the power plant, and the equal to the total plant capacity, and any arbitrary value that we consider from the kVA rating of the power system. And the conversion can be affected by using the following relation. This is the relation. Because of this relation, the conversion is affected. So percentage reactance in at base kVA is equal to base kVA divided by the rated kVA into percentage reactance at rated kVA. So this is the equation that we use to calculate percentage reactance at base kVA. And therefore the 1000 kVA transformer with 5% reactance will have a reactance of say 10%. If increase, then the base kVA will be 2000, it will be double. So as the reactance will double, so base kVA will be double. Now the next term that we are going to discuss is the short circuit MVA. So that megavolt ampere. So the potential at the point of say fault is 0. So it is a normal practice to express the short circuit current in terms of the short circuit MVA. So here whenever the potential at the fault point is 0, that at that time we consider the say normal calculation which express the short circuit current in terms of short circuit MVA based on the normal system voltage at the point of fault. So so from that, the product of normal system voltage and short circuit current at the point of fault which is expressed in terms of MVA, which is known as the short circuit MVA. So we need to calculate the say normal system voltage. We need to keep in mind the normal system voltage and the short circuit current at the point of the fault. So whenever wherever the point at which the fault will take place, we need to determine the short circuit current at that point of the fault, which is expressed means product of the voltage normal voltage and the short circuit current of the point where the fault take place is known as the short circuit MVA of the system, and where V is the phase voltage in kV and I is the full load current which is in the kilo ampere. And the percentage reactance of the system on the base MVA up to the say fault point. So from the equation number 2.28 that we derived, that is short circuit current IS is equal to I into 100 by percentage X. So short circuit MVA for three phase circuit is 3 into V into ISC. So over here we discussed the definition of the short circuit MVA. So voltage is the normal voltage and ISC is the short circuit current of the point where the fault is say generated, or fault is say occur. So that's why the equation will become 3 into V into ISC. Now that will solve for that is 3 into VI, and ISC is the 100 by percentage X. So this is the base MVA equation. So base MVA into say 100 by percentage X. So from that we can say that short circuit MVA is obtained by multiplying the base MVA with 100 by percentage X. So this is how we can calculate, we can define uh, the the value of say short circuit MVA and the percentage reactance of the circuit. So let us discuss the third topic, that is the steps for symmetrical fault calculation. So these are the steps that we need to follow while we solve the examples related to the symmetrical fault calculation, and we solve the example related to the symmetrical fault analysis. Now in this case, the procedure that we follow to solve the symmetrical fault of the any of the means problem given for the power system. The procedure for the solution of such fault involves the steps. So while we calculate the symmetrical fault analysis, we will calculate any of the means problem given according to this step. Now first is you need to draw a single line diagram. So that we already discussed that if any of the means complex power system is given, for that we need to draw a single line diagram of the say complex network, which is indicating the rating and voltage and percentage reactance of each element of the network. So that we already discussed in the first lecture, that is the to draw a single line diagram from the given complex network, and which indicates the voltage and means which indicate the rating of say voltage and percentage reactance on the given value. And the second step that we need to perform, that is choose a numerically convenient value of base kVA. So first of all, see all the elements which are having the same kVA rating and convert all percentage reactance to the base value. So whatever the elements or the means the devices which are present in the system, first of all find out the base kVA of that system and convert all the percentage reactance to this the base value. And the third point that we need to perform, that is the corresponding to the single line diagram of the network, draw the reactance diagram showing one phase of system and the neutral. So that we already drawn in say previous chapter. From that in the last chapter we discussed the means we understand how to draw the single line diagram and to convert the single line diagram into single phase to neutral, and indicate the percentage reactance of the base kVA in the reactance diagram. So in the reactance diagram we need to indicate all the percentage reactances and the base kVA in the single line diagram of the system. And the transformer in the system should be represented by a reactance in series. So that we already discuss how to draw the single diagram, how to represent the reactances and the elements in the single line diagram. So this is what we need to perform, that we already studied in the last lecture, to draw the one line diagram or single line diagram from the given complex network, and find the total percentage of the network up to point of fault. So we are considering the symmetrical fault analysis over here, and we are considering a point where we are calculating the short circuit current and value of the means short circuit power and the all the parameters at the point where the short circuit take place. So find the total percentage of the network up to point of the fault. Let in be the x percentage. So we consider a point where the fault take place, and at that point, till that point we consider the effect of the percentage reactance. So after the fourth step, we have the fifth step that we need to perform, that is find the full load current corresponding to the selected base kVA. So first of all, we have selected the value of base kVA, and according to the value of the base kVA, find out the full load current. And the normal system voltage at the full load point, let be the I, and from that the sixth step, that is then the short circuit current calculating, which is given as this is the formula that we already derived, that is multiply the full load current with the percentage, means 100 by percentage x, that will become your short circuit current of the given network. So these are the steps that we need to follow while we perform the symmetrical fault analysis. And by performing these steps, we will get the accurate value of the short circuit current of the given system where the fault is taken, means where the fault is occur. So after this presentation, you have the worksheet question, that is explain the what is infinite bus, and the assignment questions which are given as below. First is what is short circuit MVA, and second is what is percentage reactance and the base kVA. So these are the worksheet question and assignment question of this after this topic. And we have mostly finished the most IMP theories of this chapter. From the next lecture, we will calculate the examples related to the symmetrical fault analysis, and the instructions which are related to the worksheet question and assignment question, which is written below. Please read it carefully, and if you have any query and doubt related to this topic, then we can solve your queries and doubt in our doubt solving session. And if you have further query and doubt, feel free to call me. And thank you very much, student. Thank you very much all. This is what I am done from for this up to this lecture. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, student. Thank you all. Jai Swaminarayan.